Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya. Same. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification so you get notified each time I upload. And please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all, and I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for all the support, all the love, always coming through for me. You all are super awesome. I am grateful. So today we'll be talking about something that I found really very interesting, and it's actually important I put it out here because I think these are happening because a lot of people are sharing their experiences. It's actually a white man calling out on his people. Why? Because a Black American experienced racism in real estate. And I think I went through, like, looking for content and other stitches and all that. And I found that, like, it's like something that they do. It is not new. It's something that they have been doing and still doing. And he is calling out on his own people. You know what? Stay good to the screen. Let me roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. And let me know what you all think in the comment section. So straight up, let me roll the.
Let's talk about racism in real estate because we just experienced it. Not myself, but JD, an African-American member of my company. I've never seen anything like this, and quite frankly, it makes me sick. This is JD. She's one of the nicest people I know. JD recently called a real estate agent by the name of Denise Griffith. Prior to calling the real estate agent was willing to represent JD. When JD called and the real estate agent heard her tone of voice, she said that she was not willing to accept her offer or represent her, which is illegal. I was not surprised to find out that she's a member of Southern Classic Realtors, of course. This is Denise's contact information. And of course, this is what she looks like. When I hopped on the phone with the real estate agent, for some reason she was willing to both represent me and hear my offer. She won't hear an offer from an African American investor. This is her boss. Please file a complaint.
So I was able to gather stitches on this, and you know what? Stay glued to the screen. Let me roll this, and then we'll come back to talk about it. And I actually really do want to read what you got to say about this because I really do. I am so curious. I really do want to learn. So let's get into it.
And the real estate agent heard her tone of voice. She said that she was not willing to accept her offer.
So I have what I think is white girl privilege that sometimes bites me in the ass. Yes, I know. I look like this, trust me. But my name is Susan, and I talk the way I talk, and repeatedly growing up, I was told that I sounded white, which I know in and of itself sounds racist, but that's been my experience. And this repeatedly played out when I would go through the drive-thru, give my order, and then end up at the window, and the look of shock on people's faces when they would actually see me, and sometimes they'd make comments like, did I just take your? Yes, you did. That was me, and you just took my order. Anyway, I had a similar experience with real estate when I was going through my divorce. And I was looking for a rental in the deep South. And of course I was, on a budget going through my divorce. And I spoke to multiple property managers, and this one property manager that I ended up dealing with eventually turned out to be a racist woman. But on the phone and email, she was super nice, super sweet. Obviously, she, I think, assumed that I was a white woman. She assumed I was a white woman. So going out of her way, sending me all kind of properties. I'm telling her my story. I'm going through a divorce. I take care of my mom, blah, blah, blah. And until we met, she was the sweetest Southern belle. And then she met me. And the look of shock and utter disgust on her face took me aback. I kind of immediately knew what was going on. But I was also thinking, was that the same person I was talking to on the phone? Is this her employee? Am I confusing her with another property manager? I spoke to a lot of them, right? She was so short with me. She was so rude, complete 180, considering how she'd been on the phone with me previously until we met. It was just crazy to me, right? And we saw this one house that I eventually rented. And I loved the living room and the kitchen. It was all redone, but the carpet was nasty. So I really finished touring the rest of the house before I told her, this carpet is old, it's nasty, needs to be replaced. And her immediate response was like, why are we wasting time? Why do we want to waste each other's time? Let's not even bother touring the rest of the house. I can already tell you don't like it. Why are you wasting my time? Why am I wasting your time? Let's just leave. And she literally walked out. And I just looked at her and I just kept walking through thinking to myself, if the carpet's replaced, I could still rent this place. And then I confirmed my suspicions later on when I went to her office to pay my deposit. When I spoke to her employees, I'm like, is that the same person I've been dealing with? And sure enough, it was. And This white girl privilege really basically turned its head on me. And I'm sure that's not the first time, but that was the most blatant time that I remember it happening to me. And it was just so gross and so disgusting. And anyway, thought I'd share it.
Let's talk about racism in real estate because we just experienced it. Not myself.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I'm from the Virgin Islands, and most of our real estate agents that are here actively selling off land and selling off house are not from here. Like, they move from whatever Congo hole they come here to sell land that they're not ancestrally tied to. Not a big deal. Anybody could come from wherever and set up shop and have their own businesses and make a living and all the things. But my problem lies in that a lot of them are focused on selling land and selling property to people who are also not from here. A lot of local people have complained time and time again that they will go to a real estate agent for support in purchasing land or purchasing homes, and it just feels like the real estate agent is not as interested in supporting them in purchasing land as they are their stateside counterparts. There's also a lot of conversation regarding certain real estate agents trying to keep certain neighborhoods predominantly white. I'd say 90% of the real estate agents that are active in the Virgin Islands are not from the Virgin Islands. Now, I know I don't know much about science book or the French I took, but something in the wash water does not seem right to me. It's giving Christopher Columbus.
Let's talk about racism in real estate because we just experienced it.
I'm very sorry to hear that happened, but I just want you to know I've been in real estate 40 years, and this is not the last time it'll happen.
If you're one of those people that's still like racism doesn't exist, it's not a big deal, like I highly suggest you read this article. It talks about the 6% of real estate agents that are Black and their experiences in the industry. It talks about the difference of how much a white real estate agent makes versus a Black real estate agent. Multiple stories of their experiences when trying to sell in a white neighborhood, how the police have been called on them. The agent who now avoids sitting through NAR's educational classwork about racism because she's sick of hearing the comments from what other agents are saying. Travel into the comments section, in which this person who won't use their real name talks about how this is nice, but I would like to see more factual evidence of racism in real estate. Or this person who says it has absolutely nothing to do with race. It's just a matter of where you live and how much the homes are. Or this person who toured all these homes and said that people don't want to buy a multi-million-dollar home from a Black man or a woman. I even think about this from our company's standpoint, like how do we help curve this conversation and help impact in a positive way the increase in Black real estate agents? How do we help increase this situation? I also want to say, like, I'm well aware that I'm a privileged white woman who hasn't had to experience this. I'm sure I've in my head thought, well, I'm not racist and I raised my kids to be far from that. So like, I'm doing my part, but that's not the case. I don't think any of this gets solved by just like not being a racist. How do you go past, well, I'm not doing that, to how do we fix this together?
So her question is, how do they fix this together? And like, it's kind of amazing how things that are not supposed to, like, just because somebody is Black or something, like everything about you changes, about how you talk to them, how you to speak to them, how you want to assist them, and all that. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I don't know, don't get me wrong, but I think it's crazy. Anyways, I absolutely want to read your comment. Let me know what you all got to say about this. Like, enlighten me on this, really, because this is not making sense. Thank you all so much for all the support. I really do appreciate you all, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.